This is Retroburn, and today I'm going to discuss how I, as a bushy-tailed newbie Warhammer 40,000 kill team player, went about constructing my Asuryani kill team list. Take note that this is not an exhaustive guide. Moreover, the lists I will present here have not been tested. I've ordered the last of my Eldar miniatures from Games Workshop, but they've yet to arrive. So this is just so much theory crafting. So to reiterate, this is not a guide, but more of sharing my experience as a new Warhammer 40k kill team player. It might help fellow greenhorns, I don't know. So my process in constructing my Asuryani kill team went like 1. Needless to say, the first step was picking a faction. I decided I would go Eldar. Not because of their stats or anything like that, but because they're my favorite faction lore-wise. In all of the Dawn of War games, except the third one sucks. I've been playing as the elves in skirmish games. Also, in the sequels where some of the factions have their own stories, so attracted was I to the pointy-eared anti-heroes that I played the Eldar in hard difficulty after I finished the whole Space Marine campaigns. 2. I researched what would make for a good Aeldari kill team. The Reddit threads I've found all had these in common. Component 1. An Aeldari Ranger as a leader. The Eldar sniper rifle has an insane range and doesn't get penalized for firing at targets at long range, and the Ranger's Chameleoline cloaks ensure your command point generator doesn't kick the barn early on. Component 2. 2 Eldar Guardian Defenders, one of whom operates a heavy weapons platform. Most recommend that one becomes Specialist, and some lists recommend that the other Eldar Guardian be the leader. If one opts for this path, the heavy weapons platform's range ensures your leader gets to stay far from the front lines. I've opted for 2 of these Guardian Defenders as, if one fails a nerve test or gets taken out, there's at least another Guardian that can man the HWP. Remember, the rules state that a heavy weapons platform can only move, advance, react, shoot, or fight if a friendly Guardian Defender that is not shaken is within 3 inches of it. It's clearly implied that only these craft world civilians can operate an HWP. No other elven unit can. Component 3. The aforementioned heavy weapons platform. For its loadout right now, the consensus is the Starcannon. A heavy 2 unit with an armor penetration stat of -3 and a strength of 6, it strikes a perfect balance between the god-awesome Bright Lance that only has a pitiful 1 attack per phase, and the Aeldari Missile launcher, which has 1. A horde clearer in the form of the Sunburst Missile, which is quite unnecessary given that all Aeldari lists are highly mobile horde armies that can readily take care of easy-to-kill horde type of units that the Sunburst ammo is clearly designed for. And 2. An elite unit killer in the form of the Starshot Missile, that's less powerful than the Bright Lance. I might be experimenting with magnetizing my heavy weapons platform to shift between these 3 options, but right now the Starcannon with its AP -3 and attack count 2 stats is just too appealing not to make as my mainstay HWP loadout. It's also useful against moderately armored units that save easily. However, for the reverse, armored units that have a tough time saving, the Starshot would be the better choice. For elites like the Death Watch, the Bright Lance would be the be-all and end-all solution. Component 4. Storm Guardians. This is where it gets tricky. Some Reddit threads recommend equipping 2 to 3 with chainswords, and I see their point. There's nothing as painful to watch as Tyrannid and other melee-oriented kill teams tear through their lines in turn 2 to 3, and having dudes with the ability to fight back and or save your ranged guys from units like Gene Stealers and Poxwalkers can be helpful in a pinch. However, I kind of doubt the efficacy of having what are essentially the craft world civilians brandish about chain swords. I mean, a toughness 3, strength 3, wound 1, and a save of 5+. Do these Stormies know what they're even doing? Thus, to be on the safe side, I'm opting for 2 fusion gunners, or 2 flamer dudes, or I don't know, maybe 1 fusion gunner and 1 flamer guy. I'll be alternating between these 3 options to see what works best. I'm betting the 2 fusion gunners will see more action though. I badly need these against MEQs. The rest of my list can take care of weak units, so flamers aren't really needed. However, against fast kill teams that get in your face early, Tyrannids with their metabolic overdrive tactic come to mind, I think flamers would be the way to go. If you're not employing a command roster and want to play what you see is what you get army, I'd feel safer with 2 fusion guns. A 12-inch range weapon with strength 8, -4 AP, and d6 damage is nothing to sneeze at. The one attack stats can be balanced out with the Eldar's propensity of excelling at the things they focus on. Storm Guardians do have a ballistic skill of 3+, ensuring that most shots should hit. Component 5. The rest of the squad, actually the main bulk of the kill team, should be Dire Avengers. They're hands down the best all-around unit for the Aeldari with vanilla core manual rules, so filling the rest of the squad after all the above units have been included in the unit points count should be a no-brainer. So I'm going for 2 variants of the list above, one with a Ranger as a leader with 4 Dire Avengers, and a Ranger-less list with a Guardian as a leader, and 5 Dire Avengers. I'll see which list performs better when the rest of my Aeldari miniatures arrive at my doorstep, maybe sometime mid-April, I don't know. For the specialists, this could very well be suboptimal, but I've chosen the 3 specialisms to be 1. Comms, for the heavy weapons platform babysitter, 2. Scout, for the fusion gunner who's going to be my MEQ assassin, and 3. The veteran specialism. Why a vet, you might ask? Well, as Aeldari bank on capturing objectives to get the upper hand, I figured the extra move adaptive tactic will prove handy. The ability to shrug off detrimental nerve test modifiers is very helpful too, given that Eldar do drop like flies, and no doubt I'll sustain casualties. As stated, my leader would be the Ranger, or an Eldar Guardian that will hang back if I opt for the Ranger-less list. The comms would be an Eldar Guardian who will stay near the HWP, and the Scout would be a Fusion Gunner, or if I opt for 2 Flamer Gunner team, a Flamer Toting Elf. The Veteran would most likely be my Exarch. I'll also try experimenting having Eldar Guardians as the comms and the Vet and bunching them up near the HWP. Having one unit that won't have a problem with nerve tests should be quite handy in ensuring the heavy weapon platforms stays active. So that said, below are both my lists. One has a Ranger, the other doesn't. Take note that both the lists have 2 Fusion Gunners. Feel free to modify the Fusion Gunner team by mixing in Flamer guys or Chainsword brandishing dudes. So these are my Asuryani kill team lists and what I perceive to be the best route in how to make a Warhammer 40k Eldar kill team roster. Opinions and constructive criticisms in what I might be doing wrong are welcome. Comment away! This has been Retroburn, and if you like this Asuryani kill team focus video, comment, share, like, and or subscribe would go a long way in supporting this Warhammer 40k channel of mine. Stay cool, stay frosty.